Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mary Barfield. I'm a homeschooling mama to a rising kindergartner and second grader. And today's video is going to be talking about how we are switching things up just a little bit for this upcoming school year. Now, I did a whole 3-video series about our curriculum picks for this upcoming year. I'll list the playlist up above. If you have not seen it, go check out those videos. I'm not changing any of that. So what I'm doing is I'm actually adding a few things to our plate, which you're probably sitting there going, if you've seen those videos, how could you add any more, Mary? And then it's possible. I'm doing it. So I did a video a couple weeks ago talking about our second grade literature picks that we were going to be doing. And one of you was kind enough to comment on there, if I like these kinds of literature picks, I should go check out AMBLESIDE online. Now, I've heard that name before. I've seen the name thrown out there around on other videos, but I never done any research on them. And so I go over to AMBLESIDE online because I'm intrigued at this point. I got to go check it out. It is a Charlotte Mason free curriculum. These wonderful people who created this entire program have done it all for free. And the great part is a lot of the literature selection that's available in the curriculum is also available for free through gutenbergproject.com or other things because it's free domain. It no longer has a copyright attached to it because they're older books, they're classics. So I just couldn't believe that all of this was just floating out there available freely to anybody who wants it. I thought that was so amazing. So I started digging in. I was like, ooh, I really do like these book selections. Ooh, I really do like this artist composer study. I like the nature. And I just started spiraling, and that led me to go get the book Modern Miss Mason again. Now, I have read this book previously about a year ago. I really liked it. I thought it was a good book. It brings Charlotte Mason's philosophical teachings into a more modern light because Miss Charlotte Mason did not have YouTube access at her fingertips. So it kind of tells you how to navigate current education abilities within a modern world using Charlotte Mason in utilizing modern things in a good way or a bad way. So I thought this was really good. So I wanted to get this again, just to kind of refresh my brain on Charlotte Mason. I am also in the process of reading through Charlotte Mason's first volume, volume 1, Home Education. This was written by Charlotte Mason 150 years ago. Because I want to hear it from her lips. Now, it's old Victorian, so it's a little different, so you have to be able to get through that, but I actually really like it. I'm enjoying it immensely. So all that leads me to say, I know I'm getting off tangent here. If you've followed me for any amount of time, you know that I kind of identify myself more as a classical education homeschooler. I bring other things in, but like at my core, I am a classical education and more neoclassical. Think well-trained minds, so Susan Weisbauer status, classical education. But going and delving into AMBLESIDE online, which then led me to go check out Charlotte Mason more, made me realize that I might like a lot more things from Charlotte Mason than I thought. And it also opened my eyes to the fact that Charlotte Mason is classical. I don't think a lot of people understand that. I think that they think she's kind of a free bird and child-led education, let your kids do whatever they want. That is not the case, because I hate to say it, guys. That was kind of my impression initially. And don't get me wrong, we used a Charlotte Mason inspired curriculum, Blossom and Root, this past year, which I loved. And I realized the things that I liked about that curriculum are the things that are very Charlotte Mason, but it's not a true Charlotte Mason. It's inspired. It is secular because Charlotte Mason is a devout Christian, or was a devout Christian. And so a lot of her teachings are laced with a biblical worldview. Now, we are not a Christian household. We are not a religious household in general. We are what you would consider a secular family. However, we don't shy away from religion. We actually welcome it being discussed in our family, not just Christianity, but all world religions, because they have such a huge impact on our history as a country and a world that you can't really talk about anything from the past without bringing up religion. It was such a big impact. And then on top of that, understanding current religion with current cultures, people from all over the place have different points of views, and I think it's important for us to understand those. So I'm okay having religion sprinkled into my curriculums. Now, I will say that we probably won't ever do a Bible study or something like that, because that just isn't our family's perspective on things, but I'm okay bringing in religion into it, especially if it's historical in nature or understanding different cultures. I think that's actually pretty important. And I also think there's good values and morals that come from Christianity specifically. So that doesn't bother me. I know that some people here might be like, okay, well, I can't watch you anymore because I'm secular, and I'm not down with that. And that's totally okay. I understand we all have our own cup of tea. I might not be it. I'm kind of like an in-betweener. I don't really conform to anything, I guess is the best way to explain it. But I'm not going to get into all that right now because that will be for another video, because I will be making a video in the next couple weeks talking about how I am going to splice, after this upcoming year, fully splice a classical education with a Charlotte Mason philosophy as well, and how we will be planning that moving forward, because I've already planned it all out, because I am a type A crazy person. So be prepared for that video. If you're excited about it, give this video a thumbs up. Now, enough of me rambling. What I'm going to tell you now, what this actual video is about, is what are we adding into our upcoming school year from AMBLESIDE Online. We're going to do year 1. We're going to add in some stuff from there. So let's get into it. First off, I want to explain most of these things will be added into our morning time section, where we're going to just do, date, weather, poetry, things like that. So a lot of this is getting added into that hour time block in the morning. And then anything else that's like kind of bulkier, we're going to be doing more on our fun Fridays, because before adding this stuff in, our Fridays were really light. So I felt like that was a good time to bring it in. And also it's fun. Like my kids like art, my kids like that kind of stuff. So that's fun to them. So I'm going to include that in our fun Friday schedules. Okay. So first off, something that I thought I'd share, it's more logistical, is I created some things to help me incorporate these things without losing my sanity. So I created this on Canva. I laminated it and I bound it. And what this is basically my go-to guide for the riches this upcoming year. So it has my artist studies information in here, my composer study information here, folk songs, and handcrafts. So I'll reference this as I'm going through the different pieces that we are incorporating into our curriculum. Something else I wanted to share with you guys that I created was bookmarks for the books that I'm incorporating and their schedule. I just thought this was such a good idea. So this one is for the first piece, Paddle to the Sea by Holling C. Holling. So this is a living book talking about geography. Holling C. Holling, I did not know he existed or any of his books existed until a couple weeks ago, and I am hooked. I love these books. They're so pretty. And AMBLESIDE Online incorporates them throughout the first couple of years of their programs. Beautiful illustrations, very quick read, and it's talking about American geography. Now, we were already doing a world geography around the world study, which is going to incorporate its own geography, but we are also doing U.S. history through American Girl history this upcoming year. So we were going to be already studying the 50 states. So this will just add that living book piece to it, and just, I think, really round out our knowledge of American history. And I'm very excited about it. There's also, and it only touches upon, I think, the Northeast. So actually where I was born, I'm from Buffalo, New York, in case you guys didn't know. But there is a free map that I found. I'll link that down below if you guys want to check it out, that I will have my daughters work through and color and, write down things that we read about in here to help with their map skills. So coming back to this bookmark situation here, so you'll see I made these in Canva also. This got cut off, the other ones didn't, but Paddle to the Sea, AMBLESIDE year 1, and then each term, which chapter we're reading per week. So we're basically going to be reading one chapter, which is one page a week from this book. So it's really not a lot I'm adding in here, but I think it'll be really good to round things out and give the girls a little bit more imagination around geography. Okay, next up, from year 1's literature selection, we're adding 2 books. So the first is The Blue Fairy Book. I am so excited about fairy tales, y'all. My girls are big fairy tale people. They love the princesses from Disney, and they were shocked when this came in the mail. They're like, what is that? Oh, they were shocked to find out that Disney did not create the story about Cinderella or Beauty and the Beast or Aladdin. They actually all came from this book. So we are super excited to read these stories. I think we're reading, let me look at the bookmark. See, I made one for this one too. So I think we're reading, it's 3 stories per term. So we're reading 9 stories for the entire year. They're not long stories, so it's not a lot. Like I said, we're not adding a ton, but I think it'll be very enriching for our school year this upcoming year. Next, from literature, we're going to be reading Aesop's Fables for Children. I got this version specifically because everybody raved about the illustrations. My kids are still young and they love an illustration, so why deprive them, especially when they're so pretty like these? So I think we're going to be doing, I think it's 2 stories a week. And I actually had to create 3 bookmarks for this one because they were just, I created 1 for term. So 2 stories a week, super simple. And I think they're really good fables and morals, and they just really help kids with, you know, making good choices. This one I also didn't realize until I got it. It has inside of it a link to a free MP3 download. So if you want to get this version, again, I'll link it down below, and I got it off Amazon. It comes basically with the audio file. So if you don't want to read them, you can just play them for your kids in the morning, which I thought was really cool. So we might try doing that. So the next thing that we're adding to our school year is not a full nature study. I really wanted to do a full nature study, but in my head, I was like, Mary, look inside yourself. Do you really have the room to add a full-blown curriculum that you're following a nature study for? And I was like, probably not. But I really like the idea of doing once a week a nature walk. And then when we get home, or while we're on the nature walk, if inspiration moves us, we will do a nature journal entry of just what we see. We're not going to do a, hey, this week we're learning about bunnies and next week we're going to learn about reptiles and blah, 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 blah. We're not going to do that. I don't want to put that pressure on myself. I want this to be very low pressure, fun, inspiring, and interesting. So if you saw my previous video talking about my back to school supplies, you know that we got some nature journals and to-go watercolor palettes for my girls. I went ahead and Cricuted them. Oop, Emery's is right here. I love a Cricut. And I like these nature books because they don't have a bound spine, so they lay flat. And that is so cool for kids because, like, I mean, that's cool for adults. My girls have already done 1 nature journal entry. We learned about seahorses when we went to our local museum the other day. And they use their to-go watercolor palettes. And I can tell you these are a winner. For $13, I can't believe how good these are. But if you didn't see my previous video, basically I decided to get them watercolor palettes that they can take with them in their backpacks, because we'll do like a nature journal entry and draw it, and then by the time we get home, we'll forget and not paint it or do what we want to do. So I got these. The other side comes off. I'm just not showing it. So if you want to get a full view of these, I'll link it up above. I did a back to school supply video, so go check those out. So we'll do a nature walk and a journal entry 1 time a week, or maybe 1 every 2 weeks, depending on how our schedule flows. Again, low pressure. This should be fun and inspiring, nothing else. Next that we're adding from, or well, we already unintentionally added to our school year, is some of the free reads from year 1 AMBLESIDE Online, which is why I understand now why that person recommended I go check out AMBLESIDE Online, because I had so many of the free reads included in our literature picks. So some of the ones that we're doing already are Peter Pan, Charlotte's Web, but some of the ones that I wanted to incorporate from their list was The Velveteen Rabbit, which I just so happened to pick up at the thrift store like a week ago for 50 cents. So it just seemed like it was meant to be. I had to do The Velveteen Rabbit. We're also going to be incorporating Pinocchio, which I don't have to purchase because, again, because of that Gutenberg project, it is free domain. So I snagged the e-copy of it on my iPad through gutenbergproject.com for free. And then the other one is going to be Little House in the Big Woods that we're adding. All right, next up, I want to talk about the riches or the cultural pieces from AMBLESIDE Online that we're going to be incorporating. So the way that they do that is they'll have a rotation that they do that everybody follows. It doesn't matter what grade you are in, you are all studying the same artist. And the reason they do that is so that you as a community can support each other and work together as families. Like, hey, I found this biography on Claude Monet, you know, I'm giving this to everybody to check out. You should use this if you want it. I really like the way that the AMBLESIDE Online community is very inclusive and supportive, and they are so resourceful. They come up with the coolest stuff, but I just really like the way they do things. So I thought that was another benefit of AMBLESIDE Online. I just like how helpful the Facebook group was, frankly. So one thing that they don't do all together, and they're like, you choose for yourself and your family, is handicrafts. So you do 1 handicraft per term. So it's a 3-term year. So 12 weeks you work on 1 handcraft. And we collectively decided, the girls helped me pick these out. Our first term, we are going to be doing hand crocheting. So the girls both got their own skein of yarn from the art store last week. And my oldest is gonna try using the needle, but if that doesn't work, we're both gonna do hand crocheting. My youngest is absolutely doing hand crocheting. I'm going to try and let my oldest figure out if she can use the needle or not. If not, we'll just do the hand crocheting and go from there. For term 2, we are going to be doing candle making. Because of my Hashimoto's, because of my autoimmune disease, I'm very big on non-toxic products in my household. And part of that is we don't really love a lot of candles because a lot of candles are made with chemicals for the smell versus essential oils. So I've made my own candles before using essential oils. I've never incorporated my girls into that, so that's something I'm actually excited to get them into. I've had some people ask me if they think that they're old enough to deal with hot wax, and my kids help me bake, cook. I think they'll be fine. I will be very careful with them, don't worry, but I think they'll be okay. And then for term 3, we are going to be doing brush drawing, which is a fancy way of saying watercoloring. Now we already do watercolor in our household, but I want to do an actual study. I was actually looking at the watercolor study from Simply Charlotte Mason. If any of you guys have used it out there in YouTube world, please put down in the comments if you liked it or not. I'm very intrigued. I liked how it explains like the strokes and different like ways to do it. It's proper form and stuff. It's not just my kids, you know, getting crazy with watercolors. It'll actually teach them technique, which is what I'm looking for. Beyond handcrafts, we're going to be doing the artist study. Not actually for this upcoming year. We're going to be doing the artist study from last year, and we're only going to take 2 of the artists because I'm trying to limit what we're doing because we're doing a lot already, as you can tell. So I'm going to be incorporating Claude Monet for the first 2 terms. And what I did in here is I did this all in Canva. I included a biography on him and I split it up by term. That's our composer. And then we're also going to be doing for term 3, George Seurat. And I've got a biography here for him too. Now, the great thing about AMBLESIDE Online is they provide the prints for you, and you can take those. They're, again, no copyright, they're free domain, and you can take those anywhere you want to get them printed, or you can just print them off on your computer at home, or you can leave them on your iPad. I want these prints hung up so that the girls can do a study, not just the one day we talk about it, but I want to leave it up for them to kind of look at any time during the week that they want to. So I used Humble Heart Press, recommended through the AMBLESIDE Online Facebook group. They were fantastic. Not only were they speedy, but the quality of these prints is beautiful, and they were so inexpensive. So I went ahead and got the 6 prints for each artist done. Ooh, I got them upside down, y'all. I just think these are so well done. So this is some of George Seurat's that we're gonna be studying this year. Let me pull up some of Claude Monet's. He did pointillism is what it's called. And then we will also be doing Claude Monet. I just didn't want to miss out on these artists. And we'll jump back in for year 2025 to 2026 with the normal rotation for art. They're just so pretty. And then of course, the classic Lily Pond that I feel like Claude Monet is known for. So I'm really excited about doing this art study. You guys, I'm so excited for this year. It's gonna be such a good year. But yeah, definitely go check out Humble Heart Press. They do normal printing, not just art pieces, but they do like if you need something bound. I've got a binder, so I don't need all that, but I'll definitely be using them every year for my art prints without a doubt. Definitely 100% recommend them. The other thing that we are going to be doing, as you kind of saw in my little booklet, is the composer study, which we will be doing for this standard rotation for the year 2024 to 2025. So we will be doing Beethoven for term 1, and his biography is back here. We'll also be doing Vivaldi for term 2. I've also got his biography here. And then Frédéric Chopin. One of my favorite songs that I did when I was younger, when I used to play the piano, was one of his. So I just think that's, I used to have like a bust of him too on top of my piano. It was kind of cool because I was really into Chopin. So we'll be doing that. The great part again about AMBLESIDE Online is somebody already put this together, so I didn't even have to do this. I just had to search, but on Spotify.com, somebody already created an AMBLESIDE Online 2024-2025 composers list. Already there. I just gotta push play. Then will also be doing folk songs from this rotation for this school year. And it's basically one folk song a month. So here's an example of one. So I think this is for March. All through the night, I included the lyrics in here just so I have those handy when we're learning how to sing it. But somebody didn't have this done yet. I'm sure if I'd waited a little longer, somebody would have done it, but I'm impatient, so I went ahead and did it myself. I created my own AMBLESIDE online 2024 to 2025 folk songs list, and I just included them all in here. So I can just hit play and we're ready to go. A little prep at the beginning is gonna help me out a lot through the year. So very excited about having the girls learning how to sing those folk songs. A lot of them are Welsh, Gaelic, Celtic in nature, background-wise, which historically for us, that is our heritage. So that'll be really exciting, I think, for the girls to connect to. They really liked that when we talked about the British Isles this past year. We learned about that. They really liked some of the folk songs that came from them. So I think they'll really connect well with these folk songs for this year. Okay, guys, I think that's it. Did I talk about everything? I think I did. So it seems like it's a lot, but it's really not when I break it down on my spreadsheet, because it's just one thing a week here or there, and it's really not a ton, but I think it'll add volumes of enrichment to their school year, and I think they'll love this stuff. So super excited about adding these into our repertoire. Super excited about making my upcoming video about how we are going to splice Charlotte Mason and classical together for like upcoming years after this year, because I have a plan and I've got it laid out, and I think I can do this, and I think it's gonna be a really good couple of years for school. So if you guys liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions about anything I mentioned here, definitely leave them down in the comments. I'll link what I can. Definitely I'll leave links to like Humble Heart Press. I think they're a great company, to Gutenberg Project if you want to go see if some of the books that you need are there online for free. I'll leave all that down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.